and please stay out of that. Please stay out of that area, so it helps with our life safety and our incident stabilization. We'll continue this as long as we can. They have been able to make some headway on the fire to start to get in there. There were several explosions initially from the site itself, just by some of the hazards that were created by the facilities that it impacted. Like I said, we'll be on site. We'll provide more information as we get it through the night. Thank you.
Thank you. Paul Humphrey, Chief of Police, Louisville Metro Police. I will reiterate what the Governor and Director Myman said. Please avoid the area and allow first responders to do the work to rescue, recover, and stabilize that scene. I will also say that in the meantime, before we can have a more formal update, please direct all of your attention to the social media of Louisville Emergency Management for any real-time updates. We will have a Family Reunification Center set up at the Louisville Metro Police Academy at 2911 Taylor Boulevard. There we'll have our Victim Services Unit that will be able to help any families get in contact with anyone they need. Again, please stay away from the area. Allow those first responders to do their job to make sure that that scene is as safe as possible. This will be an ongoing active scene for the next several days. We don't know how long it's going to take to render that scene safe for the investigation to take place. The NTSB will be the lead in the investigation, so as of right now, we will not be able to answer any questions related to the cause of this crash until the NTSB is able to give us more information. And with that, I will turn it over to the Senator.
Good evening, Chief Brian O'Neill, Louisville Fire.
From food-grade lubricants to LED lighting and every product in between, all in one place and easy to.
Department. I want to reiterate, this happened in Okolona, and so I want to make sure we give credit to the fact that the Okolona Fire Department first on the scene, took command of the scene, and so we are there in support to help them and we've got units from the rest of the Jefferson County Fire Departments there, as well as surrounding counties. Obviously, the Airport Fire Department is a huge factor in this as well.
Hey,
we've also received assistance from some of the industry around here that has firefighting foam. That is absolutely necessary. As you heard, this was a UPS plane that was taking off, getting ready to go all the way to Honolulu, Hawaii. So we're talking about over 250,000 gallons of jet fuel that was on that plane. So we're talking about a very, very dangerous situation. The area that's affected on Grade Lane at Melton, and it's about a city block wide. You've got fuel recycling storage and some bulk fuel storage that's right there. You also have the auto parts area. There's a lot of issues that are going on with being able to surround and try to contain this fire. When I left the scene about 40 minutes ago, crews there were doing an amazing job. Again, all credit to the firefighters on the scene. They are doing incredible work, and they are containing this fire. Basically, you have to surround it. Where I was with some of our crews was on the north and west side, and you've got Okolona and other people that were leading the charge on that south side to try to just bring it in and bring it in and bring it in. But as I said, we're dealing with not only the initial fuel spill, but all the additional that was on site there. So it's going to be a little while. I've got to reiterate, I know you're going to be tired of hearing this, but you're going to keep hearing it. Try to be patient. Listen to emergency management for any updates. I know you might be eager to try to call to try to find out what's going on. I promise you, people are busy, people are working, they're doing everything they can to keep you safe. I want to address really quick the rest of the city. We have called in one of our off shifts. We have 3 different platoons of firefighters, so we've got off shift firefighters, the staff to back up. So rest assured, the entire city is still protected and still covered with plenty of fire safety, even though we have so many units that are down there south of the airport. So if there's any need for any other emergencies, you are covered, you are protected. Thank you.
Okay, breaking news.
Thank you. I am State Senator Katora Herron, and I represent the 35th Senate District. And on behalf of the Kentucky Senate General Assembly, I want to acknowledge how jarring it is for the residents of Louisville and the surrounding areas to watch this tragedy hit so close to home, to happen in a place where many of us frequent on a regular basis, that many of us watch our family members and loved ones pass through on a regular basis. And to have to process this information and to know that there's been loss of lives, it's very hurtful. And my thoughts and prayers go out to the families that we know have been impacted, to the surrounding neighborhoods and communities. And I just want to urge our residents, as it's already been said, to be patient, to stay away from the scene, and to come together at this time of this tragedy. And I want to, again, thank the first responders, the ones that are still there on the scene, and we will make sure that we keep you all updated with additional information. And I will turn it over to Representative Lisa Wilner.
My God, you guys. Oh, don't act.
State Representative Lisa Wilner, representing House District 35, which goes all around the airport. This is a sad and heavy occasion. I am filled with gratitude and respect for the work of our first responders, for their courage, for their training, for their teamwork, for their bringing so many different units together on such short notice. I'm grateful to our governor for getting here so fast from Frankfurt. I just, my heart is with the families, all the community members who work for UPS, the folks who work at the airport and are there every day and are already under so much strain because of the government shutdown. This is a time for us as a community to come together. Once again, I am so proud to be a Louisvillian. We are a city of compassion. We are a city of love. I just want to ask that we keep one another in our prayers and our thoughts, that we extend kindness at every opportunity, and that we really use this opportunity to look out for our neighbors and to take care of ourselves and one another.
Okay, my name is Betsy Rui, and I represent Metro Council District 21, and the airport is in the heart of my district. And first, I would like to thank all the leadership of the first responders behind us and all the first responders out there in the field. This is what you all trained for. I'm sad that we have to actually use all your training, but I'm glad that you have it. And my heart goes out to everybody at UPS, because this is a UPS town. My cousin's a UPS pilot. My aide's tennis partner is a UPS pilot. The intern in my office works overnight at UPS to pay for college. We all know somebody who works at UPS, and they're all texting their friends, their family, trying to make sure everyone is safe. Sadly, some of those texts are probably going to go unanswered. My heart goes out to those families and those friends. And thank you.
Want to acknowledge we also have our FBI special agent in charge with us today. Are grateful for her participation. With that, I'll open it up to questions, but a couple of things. I'm not going to speculate about the cause. That's for the NTSB to determine, and do not want to interfere in that in any way. And the other thing I'd say is we'll get more information on the numbers of fatalities. We'll get more information on the number of injuries. Know that information is fluid. I would tell you, after the tornado in Mayfield, I was standing outside of a factory where I was sure 100 people were dead. And we ended up only losing 13, and that's a lot of people. But pray. It works. It helps. Let's pray that the number of Kentuckians or any other folks that we lost stays as low as possible. With that, if you have questions, I'll do my best.
My God, today.
I don't believe, yeah.
Okay, we cannot hear the question. Let's
So
go.
we do not know of anybody that are trapped, but the units on scene, as I said, we're trying to surround and contain that. As we move in, we are searching every building, every area, and like Director Myman mentioned, all the buildings that are outside of that immediate hazard zone are being searched as well to make sure that those are clear and safe.
If you see the live images that thankfully emergency management can get, you see these heroic firefighters moving from building to building to building as fast as they can, because if somebody's trapped, they're going to get to them. Yeah.
Yeah, so right now, it's from the airport, basically from the airport or right around the outer loop area, north. If you live in Jefferson County and you're in that, I know that's a circle that's on the screen up there behind you guys, but, you know, we're thinking anybody north of that, we hope to be able to narrow that down as accurate plume modeling is taking place, and it should be done now. So we may be able to reduce that even more, that footprint even more
let's go
here just
right
in
here.
the next.
So this one is cool.
Okay,
You basically
let's
connect your
go,
Shopify
let's go,
account
let's
and it's able to
find,
pull in your product
What's
catalog.
going
And then
on?
from there, you
Okay,
can
here we
actually
go.
And breaking now at 6, reported just moments ago, a plane crash at Muhammad Ali Airport in Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, let's get right to Atlanta News First anchor Joe Gorcho at the First Alert Breaking News Desk. And Joe, I know we're just confirming from Atlanta-based UPS that this is one of their planes.
It is, and we're also trying to get more official responses as to what was the cause of this crash. Right now, as you should be seeing on your screen, you're seeing a wide vantage point of this devastation. You see flames on the bottom, and here's an aerial view now. We're just getting new images and video from the scene from our sister station there in Louisville, and I think this gives you kind of the scope of this damage here tonight. Just look at the trail of fire there on your screen, the thick cloud of smoke. There was another vantage point I saw just moments ago, Blair and Tracy, where we saw trucks damaged, buildings damaged. We do know from our sister station in Louisville that there are reported injuries because of this crash. And we're also learning that calls came in around 5:15 this afternoon, so this is all very much developing. We're also learning from our desk as well that right now there is a ground stop. The airport is completely shut down there in Louisville, and this crash happened just south of the airport. But as you can see, it looks like it's right there next to it as we see first responders there on the scene working to try to contain this situation. I'm seeing countless. You can see it on your screen there too. All these lights, all these first responders there responding to this crash. Like you mentioned here, this was a UPS plane. We don't know the specifics of what caused this crash, but we do know again that it was a UPS plane that did crash and cause this damage. Now there is a shelter in place for 5 miles surrounding the airport at this time. Authorities are asking people to stay away from the area. One can imagine when you see this massive plume of smoke that, again, we don't know what caused this crash. Now the FAA and NTSB, they're not replying right now. We're reaching out trying to get answers because of this shutdown. We've reached out and we got an automatic response saying they're not responding because of the shutdown. But again, this is just another vantage point. You're seeing planes grounded right now. The thick cloud of smoke. We have camera crews there from our sister station working to get more information at this time. Blair and Tracy, this is something, of course, we'll be keeping a close eye on throughout the evening as crews there, first responders look to contain the situation. Certainly prayers for all involved, as we do know there are injuries reported.
Joe, I was just going to ask you, looking at,
yes.
Sorry about that, Joe. Just looking at the live
continue,
pictures
please.
from the ground, it's one situation, but then we look at these chopper pictures from our affiliate there in Louisville, looking at that debris field, it is significant. You're saying this is right south of the runway, right south of the airport?
Yes, and again, we're working on trying to get more information about what caused this crash. Now, we do have some information that was just given to us by our producers. Let me share it with you right now. UPS flight 2976 crashed around 5:15 this afternoon, local time in Louisville today after departing from Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport in Kentucky. So that gives you the sense that this happened as it was looking to leave the airport. The McDonnell McDouglas MD-11 was headed to Daniel K. International Airport in Honolulu. The FAA and NTSB will investigate. The NTSB will be the lead on this investigation. So federal officials just got back to us with that information, and Blair and Tracy, that gives you a little bit of the insight of potentially what happened here as it was looking to take off and leave Louisville from that runway that you pointed out there, Blair, and now you're seeing just the widespread magnitude of this crash and the devastating fire and the fallout from all of this. It's difficult to watch as you see the flames still burning right now. It's hard to make out what's the debris from the plane and then potential buildings and trucks and cars impacted here. Again, still working to learn how many people were potentially injured as a direct result of this plane crash looking to take off from Louisville. Blair and Tracy, this is something we'll be keeping a close eye on for sure.
And Joe, we're going to stick with it because these images are just incredible to look at and your heart just drops when you do see that debris field and the flames there. Just doing a little quick research on Louisville's airport. It is a major cargo hub. Again, we do know that UPS did confirm it is one of their planes that was involved in this. Again, a number of injuries reported, and one can judge, it could be an assumption, of course, that debris field involve some neighborhoods because this is not a very large airport at all. It only has about 24 boarding gates and 3 runways as well. So we're not talking about an expanse like, say, we have here in Atlanta around Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. We are talking about a relatively small airport that mostly brings in cargo jets in and out there as a kind of a transportation hub. So we're hoping no neighborhoods are involved in this, but unfortunately likely so. As we get even closer images, it's really hard to make out what we're looking at here. All you can really see is flames, and of course the fire crews at the airport trying to do the best they can. As we know, at a major airport there are crews on standby, basically like a fire department. They're on the campus at the airport trying to get a handle on this, and at this point with those flames and of course the fuel on that jet, you know, they're just looking at being in kind of a defensive mode at this point.
Well, and it's a very good point, Tracy. Think about this plane. This is a plane that was taking off from Louisville, Kentucky, and going to Honolulu. So it was a full plane when it comes to the jet fuel on there, and that's why you're seeing a significant shot when it comes to the flames there. And I thought the same thing. You know, you don't know if there are homes around here, if this is a business park, what exactly is near south of that airport and south of that runway. But we know this plane was taking off. Of course, a lot of concern here in the Atlanta area because this is a Atlanta-based company, UPS, telling us that one of its planes was involved in this accident involving one of their aircraft in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, and we could see from those images at least 2 ladder trucks trying to put some water on this, really more of a suppression foam at this point because we are talking about that jet fuel. Of course, this is a story we will continue to follow at this hour as we take a live look again from Louisville, Kentucky, where a UPS cargo plane, where it is best to assume it's a UPS cargo plane, was involved in a crash in Louisville, Kentucky there. Injuries have been reported, and there is a very, very large debris field, basically a trail of fire leading near the runway as this jet was about to take off.
We're going to keep an eye on these live pictures. We're going to watch this situation back in our newsroom and in our control room. We will come back to this. We will continue to get new information, and as we get it, the moment we get more information, new information, we will come right back to this breaking story.
Okay, let's go.
Distraught about this event today. They want answers just like we do. And as I said, we will be going inside here just shortly.
Y'all, that is low on his
updates
end.
on this investigation, where it starts, where it goes.
Okay, you guys, it's very low on his end.
Right, live for us. Thank you so much. And again, we want to talk about the shelter in place that's still in effect. Initially, it was 5 miles, and then it was expanded. It's been brought back in a little bit. Jay Cardosi, you've been tracking everything that's been happening as far as the radar goes. You were able to pinpoint exactly when this happened from your radar.
Yeah. I mean, we go back to just after 5 o'clock today. We were talking about the beautiful weather out there. We were talking about, you know, the beautiful fall colors. Had a tower cam shot, and we noticed in the upper left-hand portion of the tower cam shot, all of a sudden this huge smoke plume. It's like, what in the world is going on? And sure enough, just a couple of minutes later, the radar lit up, a smoke plume lit up right near the international airport, and it carried its way off to the north. Hence the shelter in place. Here's the very latest I have for you graphically. You can see it from Louisville International up to near Jeffersonville. It still covers a pretty good chunk of real estate for the downtown area of Louisville. Again, we want you to stay inside, shut the windows. The health department is saying that the ACs and the furnaces should stay off until this thing is lifted. As a matter of fact, Jennifer, Rick, we received an email from a viewer in Salem, Indiana, saying that she can now smell the jet fuel all the way up into Salem. I mean, that's 30 miles off to the north, and she's saying it's a pretty stout smell too. So it just goes to show you the wind has really pushed some of those fumes, those odors, if you will, farther and farther off to the north. The good news, guys, is that the plume itself has dissipated. At least I don't have it on radar. It actually dissipated about an hour and a half ago. So hopefully we'll continue to clear out the atmosphere and we can lift this shelter in place in relatively short order. But I have a feeling it's going to be left, if you will, in place for quite some time, just to make sure. as that was one horrific scene. Guys, let's send it back to you.
Yeah, and it's still burning right now,
yeah,
Jay.
that's right.
It's terrible.
So anything from the outer loop north, all the way even extended. Mike Moore over in Jeffersonville also put a shelter in place. TARC is not working. The airport is virtually shut down. 3 fatalities, 11 people injured. This plane crash, a UPS plane, was headed to Honolulu, attempting to take off when something went wrong. One of the engines caught fire, and it never got off the ground and slammed into Kentucky Petroleum Recycling, and that set off a massive explosion, and then that was followed by subsequent explosion.
The governor just gave us an update, and he said he did not have the statuses of the 3 crew members that were told that were on board. However, he did say that there were 3 deaths involved in this and 11 fatalities, or 11 injured, 3 deaths, and they do expect those numbers to grow. We do want to mention also that the officials mentioned that they may have to knock out the power as they continue to work on this scene. So if your power goes out, you live in this area, don't worry, it'll come back on. This is just a working scene. They're still in the initial assessment phase of this, and they're working to make sure that people are still not needing rescue. They're still unsure. It's the beginning of all of this.
Well, I keep going back to the Givaudan explosion. They did not know that there was the fatality in that situation. There could have been people, like you said, in their cars, in those businesses, leaving those businesses. Also, LMPD on Taylor Boulevard at their training academy has set up a victim reunification. So if one of your loved ones was one of those injured, they have a reunification area set up at the LMPD training facility.
Yeah, we were expecting a update from the airport around 8:15. That has since been moved to 9 o'clock as officials are working to gather more information. This video that you're seeing now was the scene shortly after it happened. This was a very massive scene there. And one of the officials that spoke at the 7:30 press conference described it, I think, in a perfect manner. She said it was a sad and heavy occasion, and this is going to be something that affects a lot of Louisville. UPS is a huge employer here in Louisville. We call ourselves a UPS town, and everybody knows somebody who has either worked at Louisville or does work at UPS or has worked at UPS. Okay. It's a huge employer.
Yes, and once again, if we can see that video, if you have that queued up of the plane coming, attempting to take off, coming down the runway. Apparently, it was making enough noise that it alerted one of the workers that was on the side there, and got the phone and recorded as the plane was barreling, here it is, barreling down the runway with one of those engines on fire. I was told that one of the engines actually did fall off, and then shortly after,
boom, there,
the explosion. And that set off those massive fires that stretches. I might even be short on the estimate. I said a quarter to a third of a mile down the road there. It might even be a half mile, but a lot of businesses involved in that. Kentucky Petroleum Recycling took the biggest hit. Grade A Auto Parts also hit. There's Stooges is also a watering hole for a lot of people.
Right.
It was right in the line of fire, but we were told that everyone in there was okay.
Yeah,
we hope that is the case. But
they're still assessing the scene there, and that's another reason why they're asking people to stay away, that there could still be explosions. Hopefully not. We just received word from LMPD. They're asking people, if you are looking for a loved one, to check on their status. Do not go to local hospitals looking for loved ones. Hospitals are not equipped to handle the family reunification part of this during this type of emergency. Instead, LMPD is asking families and friends to report to the family reunification area at the LMPD training facility that is located at 2911 Taylor Boulevard. You'll be able to find out if your loved one that you're looking for is okay or not. They're going to provide a safe and organized environment there for families looking to connect with accurate information. There's a lot of information out there right now, as is typical with this kind of scene.
that is the LMPD Training Academy. It's out by Churchill Downs, if you're not familiar with that area.
And LMPD is also asking people to avoid the area. Grade Lane shut down indefinitely, along with some other roads there along the airport.
Okay, so that sets the stage for us, and it has been a horrible day. And like we were talking about Louisville International before, when it was Stanford Field, relatively quiet. The last accident out there was a UPS plane in 2005. That's how far back you have to go. And then to Standiford Field in 1970. But we keep getting reminded. We saw what happened at Reagan National with that big crash there. Remember the plane that crashed up at the Bluegrass Airport. So, I mean, when it happens, it's devastating. And our community was devastated today.
Again, NTSB is now in charge of this investigation. The governor says officials from the NTSB will be here on the scene very soon. The governor also pointed out there no specifically hazardous cargo on this UPS plane, but the impact, again, where it happened, some of the buildings and the areas there, kind of what sparked this shelter in place that's happening right now, which initially was just 5 miles, and again, it's grown. Expanded, and they're trying to bring it in as they contain this scene.
And plus, you know, it may not have been the cargo, but it was loaded. The tank was full. They were heading to Honolulu on this flight. So, you know, some 40,000 gallons of fuel weighing 280,000 pounds. For instance, it might strike you, but fuel is lighter than water. A gallon of water weighs 8.3 pounds, but a gallon of that jet fuel about 6.7, 6.8 is what that weighs.
I'll give you a better idea of that shelter in place. So anything north of the airport to the Ohio River, South Louisville, Old Louisville, downtown, and also including Jeffersonville, as they're seeing some of that smoke there.
No TARC service tonight because of the shelter in place. And the airport is virtually, it is shut down. So flights, nobody's coming in and nobody's leaving tonight as well.
Yeah, they said the TSA security checkpoint is temporarily closed. Check your status of your flight with your airline. Also, the governor mentioned Ford. LAP was not hit, but they did lose power for a short period of time and had to shelter in place there as well.
Okay, everybody.
So that's the way we're waiting to hear from the airport to get a further update.
Okay,
on,
you guys,
they'll give us the nuts and the bolts
on
on the technicalities of initially what they know of what went wrong with the engine on takeoff and what went
I will
wrong
see
with
you
that
guys
aircraft.
at 9 o'clock when they go live.
Which was MD-11.
I'll see you guys at 9 o'clock so we can see exactly what's going on. Thank you for coming over.
And the UPS did release a statement just a short time ago, just
Wait a
to
minute.
reiterate what happened at approximately 5:20 tonight. A UPS flight 2976 from Louisville, we now know, was headed to Honolulu, Hawaii. You mentioned an MD-11 with 3 crew members on board involved in the accident in Louisville. They have not confirmed any injuries or casualties at this time, but the governor did confirm that 3 people have passed away in this crash. We're still waiting to confirm any other injuries or fatalities, which the governor did expect those numbers to grow.
And kudos to the Okolona Fire Department. They were close by. They were first on scene. Fairdale's just a little south of that as well. All hands on deck helping Louisville firefighters. They had their hands full tonight with this massive fire. There's a video of the
debris,
the runway and the debris. And Chopper Bill was telling us that he could see some of the signs and lights that were set up along the runway were knocked down, indicating to him that that plane, once that engine caught fire, veered off of the runway for some reason. But we'll have to wait till the NTSB completes its full investigation to know exactly what happened.
And Jody Myman with Louisville Metro Emergency Services
Okay,
mentioned
you
that they're
guys, thank
monitoring
you.
the
I will
air
see you guys
right
at 9
now,
o'clock.
as they do with any situation